Are you ready?
Very ready.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Nervous.
Sanibonani nonke, ninjani.
Sanibonani, guys. My name is Kgomotso Olifant / Mkhulu Mahlale Ntabeni. Insizwa kaMlangeni. Yena uMagasela ushiya uMadondo. Soqala isithulu sindaba. Thank you very much.
Yes, and welcome to Talks with Kells.
Thank you
That
for
was the Say
having
Something
me.
edition.
Something.
Something.
So where is the what again? Where is the
Where's the what?
the host?
All right, yes. So yes, guys, my name is Cesar Lawrence Masego, and the host Themba Kells is right here with us. Themba, hello.
How are you guys?
Siyaphila njani for Themba?
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I don't know why he's sitting that side today, but we are happy to be here because I feel like today we have two beautiful faces, right? In the Say Something edition, we've got the beautiful lady Kgomotso. Kgomotso, do you want to say something to Themba?
Mina, I have a question.
Okay.
I have a question.
But I'm the one who's supposed to ask.
But like, yes,
I'm
you
not-
are.
Although I'm not on screen today.
Yes, the question, but like, it's not. Yes,
Conversation,
Not
yes.
yet.
Okay, good stuff.
The question is, when are you going to be guiding us through, or is this like...
No, I think we'll just raw dog this.
Yeah.
Okay, then
Yeah.
Don't worry.
winging it. Okay, let's go.
Yeah. Are you nervous?
She's not, I don't think are you nervous?
Quite.
Are you nervous? All right,
quiet.
let's go. Yeah, no, let's go.
She's
Let's
quite
start.
nervous.
She's quite nervous.
Yeah,
She's
that
quiet,
guy
nervous, or
in
she's quite
camera.
nervous.
So tell us, who is Kgomotso? Where did you grow up? The people that don't know you, basically.
Okay, so Kgomotso, born and bred in Ratanda.
Okay.
So ngikhulele lana, ngivelele lana. I'm in my 20s. I'm in my 20s.
Yeah.
Welcome.
I'm done. Kaskol, guys. I'm Kimhulu.
Okay, sure.
Anyway, enough about that. So yes, Kgomotso is currently a student. Ne?
Okay.
A sangoma.
Student.
Sangoma.
Okay,
Student.
Yes, a student.
I thought a student
And
somewhere.
the
Comma,
sangoma.
Sangoma.
You know,
Yeah.
and the sangoma.
Okay.
And also, part-time comedian.
Oh,
But we're not gonna.
yes.
We're not gonna.
That's why
Part-time comedian.
that's why we had the Say Something edition. All right.
Say something?
Mawuna
Yes.
ngizohlekisa uzongicasha. Ngizotshela mina masongicashile ukuthi ngithatha.
I don't want to pay you though. We don't
You
have
can't.
money.
No freebies.
There are freebies.
Do you know how much it takes to make somebody laugh, guys?
But you haven't made us laugh
I
ever
have
since you
to.
got here.
Yeah, no freebies. Exactly.
I know I've laughed, but I want to know. So if you say no freebies, and do Beniako to make people laugh as well.
Yeah.
How so?
To kind of like calm them down.
Okay.
Yes, when you go consult, sometimes
Alright.
when you're anxious, it's okay, what am I going to find out? What is this person going to tell me? Am I going to die? Abanye abantu bacabanga. So I have to
Okay.
make sure, Mina, as your healer, I have to counsel you, I have to calm you down. So if it's cracking a joke or two, and then, yeah.
Of which is why we brought you here today. Not to interrupt you, but I think let's just get in the business of the day. How did you discover that you have a gift? And you can actually pursue, I don't know if I would call it, because in our field you call
Yes.
it arts or a craft. I don't know in your field,
It
what do you
is
call
kind
it?
of career
Yes.
type
Okay,
of.
Yes.
cool stuff.
Yeah. So I was just talking about this earlier today, ne? This thing,
Okay.
very dangerous.
It's panda.
Yes, it's, the
Bracelets.
dozy bracelets.
Okay.
It's very expensive, this one.
Okay.
Anyways, so I never knew my mother's paternal family. I grew up
Okay.
with my mother's maternal family, So I grew up in a colored household.
All right.
You understand? So I find out maybe I'm 15 years old, 14 years old.
Okay.
My mom is Swati. ne?
Okay.
She finds a family and they're like, okay, we want to do a welcoming ceremony, something sort of, yabo. So when that happens, kuba into ukuthi she's required ukuthi aletha abantwana because they didn't even know us that side of the family. Ne?
Okay.
So kube nento ukuthi, okay, because the kids are here, let us introduce the kids as well to the ancestors because they're your kids. Ne? Saying this to my mother. So that's okay. We're required to weigh isiphandla. Ne? And I think that's when everything started. Faka kwami isiphandla. It was maybe a week after ngifaka isiphandla, and then I started getting.
So you got this panda from the paternal side or from the maternal side?
from my mother's paternal side of the family.
Those that you were not aware about. You did
Yes,
not know
I didn't
about
even know these
Okay.
people, were around or existed. And then I find out, okay, there's this side of the family that I was not aware of. I'm raised in a colored family. I know nothing about
All right.
Ipandla and all of that,
Okay.
So I find out, okay, there's these people. and I'm required to wear this thing. So I mean, it didn't, because like I said, I'm raised in a colored family. As Hlabi, asi. So angkabang ukuthi it's such a big deal. I'm like, it's just a bracelet. And then I think soon after that, that's when I discovered it was okay.
So I think in my understanding, they were in Belego, and then from Belego you had to figure the bracelet.
Yeah.
And then from bracelet, then that's when the spiritual
they recognized
thing.
Me,
Right, okay.
And with them recognizing me, then they hear like, okay, so now we have something for you. We have a gift. We have we've been looking because it was very coincidental that I fall sick, my mother finds a family, and then I wear this thing, and then so yeah, that's basically how it happened.
So that's where the journey began. So I wanted to ask with that, most people that are spiritual will tell you that these things start from when you are in school, the signs start from when you're young. For instance, I had experience with every time I'd had to get stuff from school, like report or marks, they go missing. Weird things like how can the department not find my results in the system, Then you have to repeat a grade because of that. You're like, okay, and you're keen with that. You're like, okay, I'm going to go do it. And then the next thing, a lot happens. I think you know what I'm talking about. So can you give us examples of what you went through when you were young? Now that you kind of connect the dots,
I'm
you're
like,
thinking,
okay, these were the
actually
signs.
this had been the signs,
Yeah. So, like I said, the way I grew up, Mina, I was not raised to believe in amadlozi and all of that. So the things I used to see or dream of, I used to think, abantwana futhi thina sikhula nge Disney Channel,
fantasy world,
princesses, fantasy world. So I'm thinking, I am psychic. Because, okay, if it's the day before I get my report at school, I'm going to dream of the report. And then when I get it, those are the exact marks I'm going to get. Or I dream of meeting somebody, and like in a month or two, I meet that particular person, and it's exactly as it was in the dream. Or I just know something, like it's a hunch. I'm thinking, that person's going to get hit by a car, and then they get hit by a car. So I'm thinking, I'm psychic, that's so cool. I'm thinking Harry Potter type of things, So yeah.
You're thinking it's normal.
Yeah, so I was not alarmed.
You think Themba can feel it as well. You're thinking ban. You're like, abungazi.
Yeah, so I'm not alarmed. I'm thinking,
you're not aware.
Thing, it's normal. Everybody, guys, it's that thing. It's time.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
So that's how I found out, basically.
And take us to the journey from there. Started falling sick, right? From there on. I'm sure something happened with your in school matric, what, and then...
Kind of traumatic, but yeah, I think from the age 15 up until 17, I started getting depressed for no reason. I went through the roughest phase of depression. And then I think when I was about 16, I found out I had an anxiety disorder. So I was like, okay, white kids things,
mental illness.
Let's try a therapist or something. I go there, I get counseled, and then the therapist is like, but nothing is wrong with you. Like, nothing's wrong. Why are you depressed? You're not stressed out about school. You're doing well. I'm not boyfriend. You're stressing. So what's happening? And I'm like, I also can't explain it. And as time goes by, I think I was 17 years old at the time. I was matriculating. And then I get the urge to commit suicide. So I'm like, okay, I have pills, and I'm like, I'm stressed out because I'm depressed, but I don't know why, and it's a lot, and I'm matriculating at the time. So I'm like, no, I can't handle all of this, the pressure, so it's better I just end everything because I can't even figure out what it is. Right? I drink the pills.
Nothing happens.
I do not die. I wake up in the hospital.
And that's like the biggest sign, one of the... Not the biggest signs, but most people go through that.
Exactly.
And at that age, 17, 18, you just want to kill yourself.
Yeah.
You can go to the extremity of trying to jump from a bridge.
You are a teenager.
And it does not happen,
So I do not die. I wake up in the hospital 2 days later. And the moment I wake up in the hospital, it was like a light bulb thing. I'm thinking, what if I go home, and, try to figure out if this is not connected.
So do you then figure that out yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like basically on the hospital bed. I'm like, okay, what if I buy some candles in paper and whatever? I don't even need to tell anybody at home. It's just trying out this thing and see if it's gonna work.
So you would say to me you had a guide. There was a voice inside of you that
that's what I'm thinking. It's kind of like light bulb.
It's a light bulb, and it's telling you exactly what to do, where to get stuff and how to get it,
Yeah. So immediately I think it was on the third day, I get fetched. I go home. I send my uncle, I'm like, okay, can you get me 1, 2, 3? And he's like, sure. He doesn't even ask.
Yeah.
Good. I'm like, okay, it's in passing tandas, right? I do that, and immediately I get a reply. I'm like, okay, this is what needs to happen. Ne? So at that point, I'm like, ting shwelezi, you know, I'm
Yes.
like, yeah, I see them do these things, I can do it myself. I don't need anybody else to assist me. So I do it, and then I ask, I'm like, okay, guys, can I finish school? Can I go to varsity and do everything that I want to do, and then come back and, you know, try to solve the situation, you know?
Yes.
And it's kind of, at that point, it's kind of blank. No answer, no reply,
Yes,
no nothing.
you just as you go, there's no response,
Yeah.
and you're thinking, okay, then that's a go ahead.
Yeah, I'm thinking
I will just continue
we're
with
good
applying
to
to
go.
varsity and applying to.
So that was like early in the year, 2020 March. We get to October 2020. We're approaching trial exams.
Okay.
Get sick, like super sick. I couldn't even get out of bed.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm thinking, I have to write my exams. I can't be sick. We need to do something, right? And then we go see somebody at Kai because we've already established, okay,
Something
this is
is
the
up.
problem. No? And this person's like, no, I don't think you're even going to matriculate. You know, you have to go, you have to do this. I'm like, guys, I'm not going to do that. Tell those people I'm going to write my exams and then I'll see if, you know, we can do this. I'm telling you, I was in and out of hospital every week. Every week. I'm sure I went to school for only 2 days a week until my final exams, right? So sometimes, even writing an exam, for me was pointless. I just sit there and think, guys, this is not going to happen. So because I'd see things, you know, hallucinating, and you even think you're crazy.
Yeah.
You're scared to come out to somebody. You know, while we were writing, I saw something on the board like Mbonumkulu or something. You're thinking, this person is gonna think pay me, you know. So I thought at that point, you know what, it's fine. Let me keep to myself and see what's gonna happen.
And speaking of hallucination,
Yeah.
what would you then say that's the reason why they associate spiritual callings and stuff with mental illnesses and emotional disorders?
Yeah.
What's your view on that? Do you relate? What would you say about that?
I do. You know why? Because I mentioned earlier that before I found out that I was supposed to be a healer, I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety disorder. So they do go hand in hand. That's why I always tell people to be wary of, you know, izangoma diagnosing them, telling them melu yotwasa. Sometimes look at your mental health.
Yeah,
sometimes acknowledge you're just not okay.
Just not okay. Yes.
Yeah, emotionally you're not fine, mentally you're not fine. So that's why Nati as izangoma, we need to look into those things before you examine the spirit first. Just sometimes ask basic questions. That's why I counsel them before I even consult.
Okay.
Because I want to know, where are you? Like, where's your headspace? Like, emotionally, what's going on in your life? Because those are the things that could be affecting everything else. And then when we are or whatnot. So yeah, I do think they go hand in hand.
Because with most things, I would think someone comes to you, they know exactly what they want to hear. Like you said, if you start with examining the emotional stability, then you can figure out is this an illness or a spiritual thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. So would you say, with what's going on now in the world, right? I think everyone wants to know, why are young people, and I think you're the right person to ask the question, right?
A lot of
young people are going through spiritual journeys.
Yeah.
They are sangomas, they are spiritualists, and I'm myself included.
Yeah.
And I've said it so many times what I think, but I think you, a sangoma, you know, Twasile, and you're young, you're not even in your mid-20s.
Yeah.
Can you maybe then...
But I'm in my 20s.
Yes, yeah, she's in her 20s, but otherwise just give... Tell the people what you think and what do you think is happening.
Personally, I think...
What revelation is this?
It's a mix.
Yes.
Between the first thing that I mentioned, sometimes it's misdiagnosis. I'm a kid, I'm in high school or I'm in school.
Misdiagnosis.
Yeah.
I'm a doctor. But
Yeah, nice.
Misdiagnosis,
Yes.
Because sometimes most of them are young. It's the pressure from school. You know, uyahluleka yincwadi ngapha izinto eningi imijolo friendships, you know.
Yes.
So emotionally you're going to be, and also the fact that you're a teenager, you're
Yes.
still developing. Your emotions are going to go haywire sometimes. And then Tina City, yeah, we most times izangoma, they diagnose you first symptom because they would say, yeah, feel like sometimes ungakhala. Yeah,
I mean,
whenever you
isn't
get
that an
overwhelmed
emotion? Yeah,
like
that's
that
an
and you want to
emotional
scream,
feel.
and then they say, yeah, what's unedlos? But sometimes it's just an emotion.
It's an emotion.
You're a person.
You're
You want to
overwhelmed.
scream sometimes, you're overwhelmed. Sometimes you don't want to socialize, you don't want to be with people. Angeke sithi manje, because of that, unedlos. So it's those types of things that make people think, oh, it's okay. And also social media, guys. We read these things on social media, they tell us.
You believe
If
all
you're
of
always
them.
crying, if
Have
you're
you
always
been
angry.
crying?
Yeah,
Do
you
you
know.
always misuse the money? Tegolo, she's sleeping with you. What?
Exactly.
And you think that's your...
And
These are
that
the
may-
symptoms?
Yeah, these are the symptoms.
Then
Now
I've got
supposed to be
HIV.
sangoma, you know?
You know, that's
I'm
how they do it.
Exactly. And the other thing is, we must look at it ngendlela yokuthi sonto.
Okay.
Masiqaleni lapho,
All right.
sonto. With church and izangoma, I've said this so many times, abantu abavumelani with my
Okay.
opinion, but it's fine.
Let's see what
I'm
I think.
saying, Mina, it's spirituality, right? It's like politics. Different parties. We have Christians, we have
Yes,
Zangoma, we have
yes,
different parties. We're all vying for the same thing. It's just
Okay.
that
Yeah,
sihlukene.
in our denominations.
Because
Yeah.
why? In spirituality, in Christianity, we all believe that there's a higher being, God.
Yes,
Ne?
yes.
Ukuthi He's supposed to save us. He's supposed, even Ezangomeni,
Who is a spiritual,
we believe,
yes,
we believe
body.
ukuthi our ancestors are the mediators between us and this other person, this higher
Thank you.
being. You look at other religions,
Yes.
Hinduism, they believe there's a higher
There's a
being
higher being.
that we communicate
Yes.
through our gods, our goddesses,
Channel.
our, you know, exactly. So I'm thinking, Mina, it's all the same thing. Ukuthi, we're playing for different teams,
Yes.
ne? So iqala lapho nakhona khona abantu ababanento ukuthi, okay, sometimes it's just intuition,
Okay.
right? But intuition also is ngizothini, spirit also.
Yes.
Ngizosho kanjalo in a sense.
It's the inner
spirit,
voice.
It's the inner voice.
It's the inner voice,
right?
yes.
So abanye abantu, whenever they start developing those things, ne? Lama intuition, lama inner voices, abazali bethu siyazi bakhule in which eras.
Okay.
So acabanga ukuthi no, this is demonic. It's in sontweni
Oh.
to ne, to kind of like ngiyehlise lento to alleviate, because it's gonna seem like ngiyathakatha.
Okay.
How can I know?
Ukuthi
Especially,
uzibani bani
yeah, especially in
bazoshona.
those times. Ukuthi mawuzothi ubani bani uzoshona, uyathakatha. So I'm thinking, okay,
Yes.
church can save me, a
Yes.
pastor can pray for
Yes.
me, and whatever. This person passes on, right? And we must remember, Uguti, every culture, with every tribe, there are rules set for us.
Yes.
It's pilangao.
Okay.
Ne, akusinte qala manje into
Yes,
yedlozi.
yes, yes,
It's
yes,
been
yes.
there for ages.
I mean,
right?
we would not be here.
Yeah. And then we get, okay, so there's a lahleka along the way
Yes.
through Christianity and whatever. So this person, let's say they pass on, right? I believe there's life in the afterlife.
Yes, I believe it too.
Right.
Themba, do you believe there's life after there's life after death?
After death.
Well, the thing is, I've never died before, so I
Themba, do you
advocate-
believe?
Do you
I can't
believe?
advocate for something
Themba,
that
I know you-
witnessed. That's the thing.
Believe.
I have to be dead.
I
first.
sent you a book, Themba, and said you must read that book. I think you would now be engaging. Go read that book, and I'm going to ask you the
Please read
question
the
again.
book, Themba.
Please read the book again.
Because you
Conversations with God.
Engaging.
Thank you.
Right. So
Yeah.
now I'm thinking, they get to the afterlife.
Yeah?
I think a lot of things come into, you know, they get clear after,
Okay.
you know. Now you know, it's okay, I ran to church to run away from this thing, but now I see what's
Okay.
bekumele ngabe, and it's too late to rectify whatever it is that you were supposed to rectify. Ne? That's when indaba yedlozi comes in, right?
Yes.
Idlozi is like, okay, I'm going to try to rectify
Okay.
my mistake.
All right.
Ne?
So it's,
So I'm
are we
passing
going
one
back to
message.
bloodline and
yes,
lineage?
it's bloodline
okay.
lineage.
Okay.
Ne? I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to get a hold of whoever in my bloodline to rectify the mistake for me. Let's say now the person they got a hold of is my mother.
Okay.
My mother now still carries those beliefs because she was raised by the very same person
Okay.
who ran to church. Now my mother believes, no, this is not happening. Let me also go to church.
Okay.
Right. There's a point where even spirit gets irritated.
Okay.
Now it's like enough is enough, right? We've been begging, we've been asking.
And it takes time, like I'm saying, you spoke
That's
about
why it's
lineage
it goes
and hierarchy, so it goes from the
from
bloodline.
person to person.
So generation to generation,
Exactly.
it can take 40 years for it to think, now let's go
now
back
we're
and
done.
let's now ignite back and go to Zban.
Exactly.
Okay.
So now
and
I'm
we are
thinking-
fighting, we are coming with...
Now we're coming with fire, coming with
Okay.
everything. Yabo.
All right.
So that's why I'm saying it might happen ukuthi mase ifika kule ngane encane, mhlambe this person is a teenager.
Yeah.
They can't run away from it because this person is tired. The one who died 100 years ago or how many years ago is like, now I'm tired. I've been begging all of you. With you, I'm not going to do any begging, right? But now the problem with this influx, is Ngoma.
Yes.
We
We have figured out number one is misdiagnosis. Some of them, they tell that they just read those things. Are you feeling sick? Are you what?
And then
they go to us. So that's
I'm a Sangoma.
okay, yes, that
Right.
would be reason number one. Yes, another reason for the influx of Sangomas we
The
have.
thing is, at the end of the day, no matter how westernized we are, we're still black, we're still Bantu people, right? Every other culture, every other race of people has rules set for them. So nathi siyazi ukuthi from emandulo, from Dala.
Okay.
This is how people used to communicate to the universe. Okay. Benzi mikidi, you know, whatever, bayahlaba, bayaphahla. It was communicating with the higher being. You understand?
Four elements of life.
Folklores, okay,
Yes.
so we know these things. Okay, this is how they used to communicate, right? And then kuba nalento ukuthi abanye abasathwasela ukuthi ngizolapha ngibe isangoma.
Okay.
Omunye uthwasela njengoba ngisho, it goes from
Sibathwasela nemali.
yes.
Yes, money. People want to monetize.
It's years of begging, njengoba ngisho, right?
Okay.
Bloodline to bloodline.
Okay.
So this person, we're not just appeasing this person. It's okay, you made a mistake, ne? You did not heed the calling. So now we're doing it for you so you can just rest. But it's not saying, Mina mangenza kanjalo, I'm going to be a sangoma, I'm going to be, yabo.
So
it's just saying,
this sparks something in my thoughts.
yeah.
Some people say, okay, if you are a spiritualist or you have a gift or whatever, some of them, you go to and then you just become the person that heals the people in your home.
Yes.
And then you twasa and then you become the person that heals a community of,
exactly.
you know, or you just maybe, it niches you to a certain extent.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Sometimes it's just rectifying a mistake.
Okay.
We're done.
Yes, you're right.
It's like saying, okay, we needed somebody to be able to correct some of the bloodline. Ubanbani is the founding father, Guzubani. When about Twasa, so you can be able to download that information because ekaya gubanalento ukuthi samba siyalahleka siyaduka njoba ngisho ngithi the family I was raised in is colored, but ngiyazi ukuthi ayiqali lapho ne there was somebody in my lineage who was Ndebele, there was somebody in my lineage who was Zulu.
Was Zulu, yes.
And then bahambe bonke labantu until it came down to this colored person. So it means for us to be able ukuthi sikwazi ukudecode some of the things we're struggling with. Uhambe sangomeni bakutshela ukuthi ya umkhulu wakho umkhize uthe kodwa kunamkhize ekhaya. So for us to be able to decode izinto ezinjalo, this is required. The type of person I am is required. Ukuthi ngithwase and then I find out that information. Ukuthi umkhize is mkhize because Olifant is Olifant because how did
so number two, abanye bathwasela historical disadvantages and reasons and so okay, all right. Okay.
Njoba but some people
noting now we are getting you the reasons for why the people are influxing in the Sangoma range. Okay, so we said one, misdiagnosis. We said two,
you know, historical
backgrounds and reasons and whatnot. Yeah. And then
number three, I think people are afraid to speak about this because it is considered as spiritual. It's considered ukuthalatha.
Yes.
But kwabanye abantu we're gifted differently.
Okay.
Yes.
For instance, I wanted to go, not that I'm talking about myself now, but I also have something as Tunya, you know, so like you said, different denominations. That's why when you say different denominations, I'm like, okay, it makes sense. So let's continue, let's not go there.
So, omunye umuntu, let's say they're gifted, they're going to teach, enlighten people.
Oh, yes.
And then inkinga yakhe, he wants to enhance this God-given gift.
All right.
Ne? Okay. We've been given a herd, nature. I want to enhance. angifuni ukufundisa abantu abayi-2 abayi-3
Okay.
ne
Okay.
I want a whole fleet of people to be able
Which is what is happening now.
Bese biza kanjalo ngathwasa ke
Okay.
okay now there's
Okay.
going to be
Okay.
full house of people
Alright.
because I'm
Okay.
not satisfied with the fact that the information I have I'm only going to pass down to one or
So
two
would you
people.
say, is that information or a monetary scheme?
Very
Because
much
now,
so.
It is a monetary scheme for me because
Very much so.
what information would you want to just plant on people and not benefit from it financially?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's why I need to even
So corruption
myself,
is number 3.
corruption is angomeni.
Yes. Corruption is
So not getting
number
corrupt.
3.
Man,
No.
most of us.
I'm one of them.
Yeah.
I'm exposing the corrupt.
So
I'm
this is what I want to ask.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So if I come and approach you and I'm a badass boy, do you get something? Do you get some, I don't know, some sense? What is it that you get? Say, I'm not a good guy for you.
It
Do your
depends.
ancestors tell you?
It depends.
What do they tell you now?
They won't. It's not each and every person that I meet
Okay.
that they're going to reveal something about. No. It's when I think they feel like, okay, there's danger lurking there. The
Okay.
person is super dangerous. Then they're going to alert you. But if it's just going to be a meaningless heartbreak, they're like, okay, sit back. You're a person. You're supposed to have a human
Yeah.
experience.
And
Because normal
that's what I
human
hate
beings
about
don't
the
get
spiritual thing, 'cause
warnings.
When it
ukuthi
comes to Mjolo, it
uzokugila
means
lo
as you
mfana.
like everyone. And
Yeah,
that's
but-
the one thing you want to be in control of. You're like,
Yes.
but why don't you show me that this person was for the...
Exactly.
You know,
At
so
the
I
end of the
think
day, you're human, so
the
they want
human
to give you a
experience.
human experience. No normal person just knows, "Uthi lo uzongila, so I'm not. So now, but they're not going to give you a warning. Just do it like everybody else. If you get hurt, you get hurt. Move
So
on.
if I want to initiate the sex part,
Aha!
I need to know.
Yeah.
Do they tell you to know this is not the right person to sleep with?
Yes.
Yeah, it's good. There are going to be signs even.
What signs? What
Sometimes
kind of signs?
every woman you want to know, I was with this person. Now I'm speaking of personal
what's
experience.
the name of
Now
the
I'm,
person?
we're not going to do that. We are not doing that.
Ah,
No,
we
guys.
unfiltered.
We're not doing that.
Do I
We're
know
not.
him?
Guys.
I think I know him. but
Yeah.
You don't.
I hope it's not your friend, Themba.
Hi, Themba, it's not that one.
I hope it's not your friend, Themba. Because I'm going to go on and on if it's one of your friends.
It's not that one. This
Okay.
person is not even in close proximity, so it's fine.
Are you sure?
I am very.
I don't trust
very
this one.
sure
The laugh
he's not-
speaks a lot when he laughs like
He's
that.
not around yet.
Okay.
Carry on.
So I'm like, I was dating this guy, now. Everything is good, relationship is great, we're happy. But whenever he tries to initiate sex, he's like, yeah, come over, sleep at my place, blah, blah, blah. Something, Jay, when I get there, something's going to happen. Zofika lapana, I'm not okay, I'm sick. Now I'm sick.
Even
ngiyahlanza.
maybe don't get lubricated in jail. Honestly, maybe the Bible will not lag.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes.
The
ngifika
means I will
laphayana,
die.
I was fine the whole week.
Yes.
Ngelanga engimvakashela ngalo, I'm on my period.
Yeah,
How?
Anton.
How's this happening? You understand? So there are going to be
Literally,
signs. They're not going
super
to tell you
clue.
straight to a spoon, but they're going to be signs. There. Can't go,
Exactly.
so no go area. So we must just know it's going to end eventually. Ngoba niyazazi.
So
You
okay.
can't survive.
Okay, cool stuff. So this.
Don't you want to know what they're saying about you now, the ancestors?
No, I'm not interested. Okay, what are they saying about me now? What are they saying about
What are they saying about Themba now? Or about the show?
Don't lie.
I'm not-
We are live. Don't lie.
I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
Ne? But in all honesty, njoba ngisho ngithi, it's not always that they're going to come
Yeah.
through.
Thank you, thank you.
So at this point,
Thank you for the honesty.
just chill. Yeah,
you for the
there's
honesty.
nothing.
They are not warning you about me.
podcast now.
They are
Why
watching the
should,
podcast.
why
with
should
us
they
now.
warn you? Why should they warn me about you? What did you
Because
do?
I'm dangerous.
Ay, boy.
Or you
I'm
met his
dangerous.
friend who was
boy.
dangerous.
I'm a
You know what? Omnivore.
No. So this is what I want to ask. How do you, if I'm a person in seeking of traditional help, how do I differentiate between someone who's fake and someone who's real?
I always advise people, ne? And it's not everybody ezomsebenzela le nto leyo.
Okay.
Fine. But I always advise people ukuthi before you go to a traditional healer, ne, umuntu nomuntu, they come from different backgrounds.
Okay.
Ne, you have to know ukuthi wena ekhaya mhlambe la ekhaya bebahamba isonto abazwani
yeah.
nezangoma nemithi
Yes.
and whatnot. You have to know that first things first, right? And then if you're religious Christians ekhaya, you pray about it before you go. Ne, njoba ngisho ngithi everybody has a sixth sense. They have intuition, that inner voice that's going to tell them,
Yeah,
"Uthi, don't go.
ayikho lento, yes.
Uzothi uyageza uyalapha esangomeni kube lento ethi, "Hayi, ungasayi lapho," you know.
Yeah.
And that is your sign. It's okay, fine. this one, should something's wrong with this healer, I'm not supposed to go there. That's why I say you have to know a background yagini, or at least have some sort of a religious background or belief that's going to help you before you embark on that journey. If it's praying, it's praying. If we are pasha, before you go. To ask for a sign, go to, should I do this, should I not do this? And then it's that simple. It's always been, that thing. You would see before you go anywhere, try by any means necessary. You would see, find out, am I supposed to do this, am I not supposed to do this? Because sometimes even I've experienced this me personally. Umuntu afike kimi athi uzohlola. Mangimhlola kungaveli lutho.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like I said this one time.
I don't see anything.
I went to someone and she was like, nothing. Go back home.
And still, I don't see anything, And the first question
do you
I
use
always...
the Bible? I'm sorry to cut you.
I do, because as much as
yourself?
I'm
No.
not, it's not, that's why I remember what I said.
Yeah, you did say that.
In politics, we all want the same thing.
Yes.
Just different parties.
How
You want to join my party? I'm going to give you a call. It's very serious.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I also got a party, but when we're all different.
Everybody.
Mine is water and...
The thing is, I have her on WhatsApp.
Okay.
So you would post around 2 a.m. You're finding it difficult to sleep. Take us through the journey.
And I abona angfuna abantu bacabanga ukuthi lento your Facebook it's struggling to sleep. You have
Yeah.
but
it's not a symptom, but it's not a symptom.
It's not a symptom,
guys. of you going to
Twasa.
Twasa.
Just
it's an experience. It's a journey, the continuation of a journey, right?
But it happens with most people who are spiritually gifted.
Yes, it does.
Insomnia. You don't sleep. You
Never,
struggle sleeping.
You never sleep.
And it's because information.
Yes.
At so 2 a.m. it's quiet, no disturbances. Nobody talking to you. That's when you can be by yourself, listen to yourself and listen to your spirit. That's when you get the chance to download the information that they need you to know.
Okay, cool. I have another interesting question.
Yeah.
So, how do you communicate with your ancestors? How do they tell you about the problems that I have? Like, do you hear voices?
Whoa,
do you see
means
pictures?
of communication.
Yes, means of communication.
It's different,
different.
every time.
Okay.
Sometimes it
Themba,
could be...
can you move your shoulder, please? Thank you. I want to be
Sometimes
the star
I
of the
could
show,
be
please.
feeling something physically. Let's say umuntu hlushwa qolo. You have back problems. The moment you step in, I was fine, mina. Bengena next. The moment you step in, I started experiencing back problems and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's the first thing I'm going to ask you about. I'm not going to tell you because I need to source out to get to the real
yeah.
So it's me asking, okay, do you have a back problem?
It's body and mind integration, food still. You need to connect in all.
Yeah, I need to connect.
Yes.
So I'm pulling this thing out. Sometimes it's an image like swiftly I'm seeing incwadi that was taken by someone and I'm thinking, okay, have you ever lost a book? That's the communication. Sometimes it's just a thought. It's communication.
They teach you
I'm gonna ask
to. Yes. Wait. Can you just maybe because when you go to outside, you learn to climb some puzzles better than everyone else. Basically, you learn to. You are taught to climb some puzzles.
Listening
better
to yourself
than,
is very important.
Exactly.
You are taught to in that moment when you are alone.
Meditation.
Be able to differentiate these are my thoughts and this is communication from.
So there's no wondrous things and that happens there.
Oh, there's no magic here. That somebody's whispering in my ear.
There's no someone is there exactly. Sometimes you will hear a voice, but it's a clear voice. You would know who it is that's saying whatever. It's not.
Now I'm seeing animals here, guys.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it does not happen because
it does
different
happen.
strokes for different folks, guys. As city, calling.
Yeah.
It's different for everybody.
Nah.
Yeah, very different.
Yeah.
It's very different. But Mina, guys, I have a problem.
Yeah, with what? You have a problem with what?
I have
Themba, are you fine with your question?
Problem.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask.
Yeah, he wants a question. Themba has a question.
What is it that I wanted to ask? Now I forgot.
Sorry for missing your
Carry on.
thought.
All
right, yes.
You know what my problem is? The people that, and I know this is gonna touch a lot of people.
Okay.
A lot of people are gonna be fighting me.
It's fine. It is what it is. It does what
I
it
don't
does.
give a fuck.
They're getting a chance. You're getting an exclusive chance to speak to someone. You're a young Sangoma.
This is a tell it all.
They're getting a tell it all from a young person who's a Sangoma. In spite of all that's going on and all that's been said, you know. So let's go, girl.
Okay,
So-
cool. Oh, sorry.
Themba, wait.
Sorry.
Can you just finish what you were saying
I'm
quickly?
gonna forget this question.
Wow.
Okay, go on.
Let's go.
Okay, cool stuff. So, having had an experience whereby uhlola umuntu omdala nakuwe, and then they underestimate the power that you have because you're so young.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, one this one. Good question.
Yeah.
Because there has, I think, been 18 years old. I've been gone for like 7 months. Ekhaya. Ngiyabuya for the first time. It's my first week ekhaya. Right? Ngisendumbeni. This lady, I'm sure she's in her 60s or something.
I wanted to ask, sorry.
Petty notebook, right? Checklist, right? So every time mangi something, she checks off her list, right? And when I was done with the consultation, she looks at her list and she's like, no, Akfani, you know, you touched on most things that I wanted to know about. And she tells me straight up, like, you touched on most things that I came to inquire about.
Inspector,
so, you know,
gadgets.
yeah, but that one told me straight up, no, I don't have any faith in you, but
How did it make you feel though?
proud. I wasn't even touched because I was like, I know Wuti, she's giving me that attitude because ula pamgwam, ne. But the moment she steps out, I know she's bummed. Wuti,
Yeah,
oh my
you
God,
know, shit,
like,
let this go.
how did she do that? Because
Yeah.
I did not have faith in her. No, Wuti uzokona ukwenza into enjalo. Now I know Wuti, any chance I get to affect somebody, I rejoice. I'm very happy. If ngiyakunyanyisa, you make my day.
One more
Yeah, so one more question. Sorry. You said you were a patron 17, 18.
Yeah.
Can I ask you this question? Were you still a virgin when you went to?
Very much
Okay.
so.
All right.
Ash is lying.
I'm not. I swear to God, I am.
Are you still virgin?
She was a virgin
Okay,
before.
I'm turning
and she's
21.
still-
Are
I'm
you still a
turning.
virgin?
I wanna say something. I'm turning 21 next year.
Yes.
Go March. Ne.
Yeah.
Genzela umemulo.
Oh,
Me.
great.
I'm not just.
Memulo vibes. We are
But
sitting
no,
with a
it's
pure
not.
soul
It's not
here.
because
A
yeah,
pure
I
soul,
wanted
yeah.
to keep myself in.
It's a choice.
Mina dala ngisile from a young age.
Yeah.
I started drinking, ngimncane, everything. Ne.
Yeah.
Dala, I wanted to
I want to ask
engage.
you a question.
Yeah.
You said you'd visit a guy and then you'd feel of Nyana.
That's what I
Where
want to
were you
come
going?
to.
Yeah.
It was never a personal choice.
Oh.
Every time I tried to do it, something would stop me.
The muscles
Yabo.
is like
so that's
never
why
it.
it was never into what I
When you
wanted
are
to
ready,
do
whenever
it.
you are ready, I'm ready.
Yeah, so yeah.
Okay, you'll ask this and then I think we're
No,
gonna
it's fine.
try-
You can ask.
we're
I
gonna
wanted
try
the
it.
virgin question was the biggest thing because I'm like, wow, are we sitting next to purity, the purest thing? Oh, guys, no, don't now follow the girl because she's a virgin.
I don't.
We know
it's-
them.
It's not a. We've seen them.
We know them.
I'll ask her.
Rotated.
I'll ask her for you.
All right. Okay, let's continue. Maybe quickly. Give me maybe 4 types of spiritual callings that people should be aware of. You know, that are in this influx, what should people be aware of
Okay.
as far as spiritual growth is concerned?
Okay. I'm gonna start with Umdau.
Okay,
because
Umdau, yes.
That's the main reason I'm where I am
Okay,
today. Ne? So with Umdau, we don't get initiated per se.
All right.
Right? We know it's like activating the gift.
Okay.
Ne? But Umdau Lona came in the sense that the person that came with this gift
Okay.
was not necessarily related to me in any sense.
Oh, okay.
No bloodline relation. So for them to be able to call me or to be able to have me tap into the gift,
Okay.
they needed somebody ne, who was related to me, like bloodline related. And it so happens the person who called me Umdau Loyo ne,
Yes.
was
So
let's
sorry,
say a family
Umdaune
friend.
would say, maybe give us a slight definition of what it means.
Yeah.
And then maybe,
so
yeah.
It's kind of like a foreign spirit.
Yeah, foreign spirit, okay.
Ne? So njoba ngisho,
Yeah.
they don't necessarily have to be related to you, but there's something that has to connect you.
Okay.
Whether it was njoba ngisho, whether it was umuntu owadlula kini,
Okay.
who was
Wow.
who knew this person, and this person is like,
Okay.
okay, because mine kaya or angnali kaya, some of them died far away from home.
Okay.
Bafika ngapha, bazofela ngapha, and they had nowhere to go back home. This person is like, because I knew your great or banban grandfather, yeah, here we are. You're gonna help me.
Do they come with luck? The thing is now, most team doesn't now come with luck. Because now I don't want a foreign spirit coming into me because you know you knew my grandmother. You want to come to me and you're giving me problems. Not problems per se, but
Yeah.
otherwise now I have to focus on my meditation. For you, do you come with money? Does it come
That's
with
why
luck? Does it come with...
it's important identifying
Okay.
mageza.
All right.
What reasons job it's omunye sugati. I want to find my way back home.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Oh, okay.
I want you to help me because I knew your family. So when are you going to be able to help trace back steps so until they get back home to be able to help them reconnect. Ne? Or figure out because some of them come near revenge.
Oh,
Yeah, somebody in your bloodline killed me, so now yeah, I'm gonna put because honestly, into your lozi, it's possession.
Oh,
you are possessed,
by someone's spirit.
By somebody else's spirit. That's
Okay.
how they're telling you these things. That's how they're guiding you because
Okay.
you're possessed.
All right.
So the moment uba possessed umuntu ngezanga with good intentions, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Ne? And it is said, I'm saying personally because
Yeah.
people say it. When it comes to Ndao, because they're related to kakhulu namanzi, ne? And the reason that is because waba abantu who died on our shores and whatever, you know, abantu abamigratayo,
Okay.
you know, yeah, most of them abantu abashonela kudala like entabeni because they had no place to live, so bebefihle entabeni and whatnot. So with those people, bathi baletha inhlanhla.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But
See, they
it's
bring luck.
difficult. It's difficult.
To identify that.
Ngizotini, accessing the lack. Simply because this person, they have no right in the first place to be able to place you because they're not related to you.
Okay.
No bloodline relation at all. So it's difficult to be able to access zonke lezo zinto lezo. It means you have to go the extra mile.
So it can also cause conflict with your ancestors.
Very much so, very much
okay.
so.
Let's continue. Say Mdau. They must be very careful of Mdau.
There
The
is
second
Umguni,
one.
right?
Yes.
That one is directly connected and related to you.
Okay.
Ne?
Coming
Like-
from Nguni.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guni people.
All right, yes, Nguni
that
people.
could be Gunguti. Let's say umndeni wakho was royalty or whatever. Ne? We know Guti. I feel I'm a monarchies and whatnot, ne? At this day and age.
Okay.
But yenze ukuthi umunye umuntu athi ngifuna ukuvusa isibongo.
Saga
Yes, because that
Bamba.
monarchy died.
Okay.
So I need to be able ukuthi mina ngivuse lesibongo ngikhumbuze the people engiphila nabo khona manje.
All right.
Ukuthi, okay, there was once usibanibani. So loyal, you know, they're blood related. And again, with those ones, it's easier for them to be able to access you.
Okay.
It's
because it's Yanguni.
yeah, because I'm Guni. So if this person comes at you, it's go time.
I have to cut you.
Okay.
I have to cut you. Things are failing us.
What did you say?
Things are failing us, but it's not that bad. I wanted to ask you this question.
Yeah.
So Mobuya from the is it an initiation school?
Yes.
Yes, Mobuya. Usually, what they do, they hide. Is it a goat?
Wow.
Or,
Yeah.
yeah.
Any whatever.
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 uyibona kanjani uyibona kanjani lento lena ukuthi
Ngiyiphinda, I don't know, ngiyiphinda usa maybe it was 5. Intuition. Very
Yes.
important. Trusting. It's not that's why it's not superpower. It's not magic.
Superpower.
No. Trusting your intuition. If umuntu yangibuza ukuthi okay, ngithathe a shoe, ngisifihlile ngisibeke phi. If that inner voice in you tells you, "Which man, awubheke ngasemva komnyango." Listen to that.
Exactly.
Most times it's right. Like 9 times out of 10, right lo muntu uyakutshela ukuthi singasemva komnyango. So that's how we do it. Just
okay. One quick question again.
Themba,
So,
we left people on the way with 2 things, but are we going to shoot this again? What's going
We
on?
might have a part 2.
Yeah, because
we might have a part 2.
Yeah.
with
we left
someone
them with a very
So,
simple,
let's say
difficult
I'm
question.
from the initiation school, and then you hide something, I can't find it. What does it say about me? Quickly.
You don't have intuition.
Now let her answer it.
no. Most times it's distractions.
Distractions.
That's why ngithi you can't ukhona ukuzilalela
noise
if
that
you're
day.
distracted by something. That's why ngithi when they want to communicate with you, most times they do it when you're in a quiet space. So when you're distracted, your mind is busy, you're thinking of a lot of things. Abanye abantu mabafika ephehlweni, like myself, I was stressed out. I'm young. Why am I here? I did not want to do this. I want to be like my peers. I want to
You
go to
wanna-
school.
I
I
wanna
want
do
to,
everything.
you know,
I wanna
now you're
do
stressed
this.
out about all of these things. I just written my matric. I'm thinking, results, did I pass? Did I? Those things can disturb you. Ziyakususa endleleni.
So we're going to have to cut it.
That was a special
Okay, we have a
edition
part
of. Yeah,
Definitely.
we must have a part 2. Thank you guys. Bye. Yes, you said Mdau Mguni and.
I
Quickly.
will come to that.
Thank you for joining
Tell
us
it
today.
all. Thank you very much for
Thank you
having
for
me.
taking your time and whatever it may be for prioritizing us.
Yeah.
Please do come again. We'll try to have a second guest for you so that you guys can have a proper conversation. But we're gonna have a part 2. When, I don't know. But thank you so much.
Part 2 is unfiltered. Tell
It's
it all.
unfiltered. Now we're filtering.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now we're. Thank you very much, guys.
Girl, thanks.
I'm on my
I'll see you again. Bye.
Thank
Thank you so much.
Uthi mama ngizobuya mama ngiyofuna umsebenzi yaza kukhonula mama sulinyebezi ngithi mama ngizobuya mama ngiyofuna umsebenzi yaza kukhonula ala kahle sulinyebezi mama sengiyabonga noma nobaba sekashiyile ngiyahamba ngiyosibana ngisokolile indimi idlalile ekhulu sikubonile